How did VHF and UHF TV bands work in the 1950s? Imagine tuning into your favorite show and wondering how those signals travel through the air to reach your television. Back in the 1950s, television technology was evolving rapidly, and two main types of radio frequency bands made it all possible. These were the very high-frequency bands and the ultra-high-frequency bands. VHF, which stands for Very High Frequency, covered channels from 40 to 200 megahertz. These signals could travel farther and were easier for early television sets to pick up. That meant better picture quality and more reliable reception. Most of the big networks like NBC, CBS, and ABC used VHF because it was well established and easier to work with. UHF, or ultra-high frequency, was the new kid on the block. It started being used around 1952, after the Federal Communications Commission finalized the UHF scheme. UHF signals operated at higher frequencies, from 450 to 850 megahertz, which meant many more channels could be assigned. In fact, there were over 1,000 UHF channels available compared to fewer than 600 VHF channels. But here's where the trouble started. UHF signals didn't travel as far as VHF signals. They could be blocked by buildings, trees, or even hills, making reception tricky for viewers from the broadcast towers. To make things worse, most television sets in the early 50s only had VHF tuners. That meant they couldn't pick up UHF signals at all. This created a big problem for UHF stations. They couldn't reach many viewers because their signals didn't get through to most sets. And since most viewers had no way to receive UHF broadcasts, advertisers didn't want to support those stations. The situation was so bad that many new UHF stations shut down within a year or two. To help viewers access UHF channels, some used devices called UHF converters. These small boxes connected to the back of a regular television and had a switch to change between VHF and UHF. When set to UHF, the converter would receive the higher frequency signals and convert them into a format the TV could display. This was a clever fix, but it was an extra step and added cost for families. Receiving television signals in the 1950s was a bit of a challenge. Antennas had to be carefully designed to catch both VHF and UHF signals. Some antennas combined elements for both types of signals, while others used separate antennas connected together. The technology was still developing, and the industry was eager to improve. It wasn't until the passage of the All-Channel Receiver Act in 1962 that all new television sets were required to have built-in UHF tuners. This law helped UHF stations gain ground and reach more viewers. By the time the 1970s rolled around, UHF stations had become a vital part of the television landscape, thanks to better technology and regulations. So, in the 1950s, the way television signals worked was a story of innovation, challenges, and the beginning of a new era in broadcasting. The competition between VHF and UHF shaped how television would grow and evolve in the decades to come.